Good morning, ladies. Hi. I hope you all are having a great start to your Monday morning, or if you're watching this, you had a great Monday. Let's see. So today I wanted to pop in here and talk about, as you can see in the description, your expectations and how they affect your habits and your ability to change. So today we're going to kind of relate that a little bit to your fitness and your healthy habits and things like that. So you may have seen a couple weeks ago, I believe it was on a Thursday a couple weeks ago, I posted a quiz in here based on the 4 tendencies, and it's around a book by Gretchen Rubin, and she's a big happiness habits type coach. And the book is called The 4 Tendencies, and it breaks it down to how you as a person think about your expectations or how you respond to expectations. So basically, I'm going to kind of tie that together, and since I'm such a strong believer that exercise is kind of the foundational piece in your happiness and fulfillment, I'm going to talk about how your expectations and how you respond to them could be affecting those things and help you in a couple different ways. So creating those solid habits and that solid foundation will help you ultimately with your consistency, helping you stick to a routine, your accountability. So kind of working with the way you respond to expectations and taking that to help yourself out. So the more we simplify, the easier it is to focus on other aspects of our life. So today I'm going to talk about simplifying, and hopefully you get something from it. So let's dive in. The 4 Tendencies book, and I haven't read it, so disclaimer there, but I want to. But I've read a couple different book summaries that have talked about it, and what I kind of got from it is that the 4 tendencies, hi, whoever just popped on, the 4 tendencies would be upholders, questioners, obligers, and rebels. So we've got those different categories, and I'm going to kind of talk about each one, and I will post the link to the quiz that I referenced earlier in the comments after this is done, so you can take the quiz and kind of see which category you fall into. I already know what mine is, and it's definitely true. But the important thing to think about is, as I go through these, is that try not to lock yourself into that mindset of, oh, I'm an obliger, so there's no coming back from that. But you can always change. But the first step is awareness and kind of knowing who you are and what you respond to. So as far as upholders go, so I'll start with upholders, and these this type of personality references as a motto, discipline is my freedom. So basically they are those rule followers. They follow the rules and plans to a T. If they have an appointment, they will keep it. They love structure. They love the rigid rules, and they will follow it. If there's something on their calendar, like a workout at 5 p.m., even if they're tired, they're going to do it because it's on their calendar. So if you're someone who follows the rules no matter what, and that basically makes you happy, you may be more of an upholder category. Let's see here. So obligers, their motto is, I'll do anything you ask until I won't. So basically these are the people pleasers of the world, and there were a lot of you that took the quiz, probably a majority of you that are obligers. And this is the biggest category of people, so a lot of people do fall into this one. And it's important to know this because there's a couple different ways you can kind of overcome some of the, expectation hurdles that you might have. So obligers meet outer expectations, but they resist inner expectations. So as this relates to your health and fitness and life in general, basically you want to please other people. So if you have, say for a workout, if you have a buddy or you have a coach or you have a personal trainer, you're going to make it to that session because you want to please that other person, but you're also getting the benefits from it. Whereas if you said, I'm gonna come home from work and about 6:00 p.m. and I'm gonna do this workout, you may not necessarily hold yourself to that unless you have a buddy or you have, an appointment or something that's really kind of locking you into that. So you resist those inner expectations. The one thing that this category faces a lot is that you want to please others so much, and that you give until you can't give anymore, and you're going to just throw in the towel. So sometimes it leads to that excessive burnout because it's hard to say no. So that's an obliger. Questioner, so this is me and a couple of other of you that took the quiz. The motto here is, I'll comply if you convince me why. So basically we resist outer expectations, but we meet the inner expectations. So basically for me, and this is how I see it, is that if there's a clear reason why I should do something, I'm going to do it. Like if there's a benefit in it for me or for other people even, if there's a reason why I should do this, I'm going to do it. But if I'm not convinced why, and someone tells me that, you should, work out at 6:00 p.m., and I come home from work and I'm really tired, and I'm like, it doesn't really seem like a good idea right now. Maybe I'll just get up in the morning and do, something longer to make up for it. So questioners question the rules, they question the status quo, however you say that. But we like data, and we like to know that what we're doing is happening for a reason. So hi, whoever's here. So that is a questioner. That is me and a couple others. Rebels. So we had a rebel that is in the group here. We may have a few others. Take the quiz in the comments if you so choose. Rebels' motto is, you can't make me, and neither can I. So basically they resist both outer expectations, and they also resist their inner expectations. So it can sometimes be hard to work with a rebel on anything. But don't think that the wrong way. They are spontaneous and independent, but they struggle with self-discipline. So if you fall into that rebel category, you choose to express your own individuality, you love that, that's great. But sometimes it can be hard to discipline yourself, or even if somebody asks you to do something and you don't really want to do it, you're probably not going to. So that would be the rebel. And I know I'm kind of jabbering on, but I'm going to tie it all together and kind of what does this mean, and I'll break it down again into upholders, obligers, questioners, and rebels, and what you can kind of do if you fall into that certain category, what you can do to, help with your healthy habits in the long run. So again, don't categorize yourself in this and kind of think, there's no changing me. There's ways to be more flexible with whatever tendency you fall within. So, upholders. So obviously you don't need much convincing to work out if it's on your planner. So basically for you, you need to put it on your planner, have a plan, stick to the plan, and that's as easy as that. Hi, whoever's on here. So that's an upholder for you. You don't need much convincing, and the only thing you might do is just to improve on being rigid and defensive at times, and just kind of going with the flow. Instead, going with the flow in a conscious way rather than on autopilot. So basically not just following their plan to a T, but maybe kind of seeing what the underlying reason or being more conscious about their day is. So moving on, obliger. So the people pleasers out there that need the outer accountability to make things work. So again, making an appointment, having a buddy, having a trainer, even just like having a plan written up so that when you go to the gym or when you go to meal plan or whatever it may be, have some sort of accountability for that. Have someone to do those things with, or have someone counting on you for it, because you want to ultimately please them. But long term, you tend to suffer burnout from saying yes, 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 and giving so much. So over time, you can eventually, again, be more mindful and conscious of your why and why you're doing something, so that you can kind of almost take on more of that questioner standpoint and really dig deep into why this means something to you, and maybe that will help with your self-discipline over time. So that is an obliger. For you questioners out there, basically you just need a way to justify what you're doing. So someone saying, oh, you should go work out or you should plan healthy meals is not going to be enough for you unless you see the benefit to it. And obviously there's so many out there, but even if, you know, a consultation with somebody to kind of point you in the right direction, or just kind of digging into the data, the reasons behind why making a change will be helpful to you, will be super important. So again, finding the why, getting real about your goals, and figuring out what's going to work for you and believing and trusting in that, and that will take you a long way. Lastly, the rebels. This one, again, is probably the hardest category to dig into just because they resist both outer and inner expectations. So rebels might choose to let their guard down a little bit, maybe be more agreeable at times, and maybe try to allow some space for rules and systems in their life. So maybe allowing for a fitness program to root them to something so that they're consistent, or just having some sort of system that they're flexible with so that they can choose. And again, that's rebels. It's really hard to dig into that category because it's ultimately about trial and error and kind of figuring out what works. So hi, whoever just hopped on. I'm just wrapping up, but feel free to go back and watch the replay of this. It'll be up here on the page. Again, guys, I just want to tell you, don't box yourself into the 4 tendency framework. Just use it to understand your behavior better. So hopefully I shared some helpful tips with you today. Share this video if you like it, or add a friend to the group. I would love to see more faces in here, connecting and helping out with one another, and I appreciate you guys being in here. And if you made it this far, thank you. If you haven't taken the quiz yet, again, it will be below in the comments. I'll post it there in just a few seconds. But that's all I've got for today. So thank you so much for being on here, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.